try to set this up. I think that's right. That looks right. Good morning. Um, Monday morning after a week off. Feels pretty good. Oops. I'm turning the air conditioner off because it's super loud. I am much improved, Sue. And hi, Dora. Yeah, I felt better by the end of the week. Going to the chiropractor is, I would recommend that. If you've never been, it's a it's a great thing. I had never been until I was having some real problems, and I had to go pretty frequently to get it all sorted out. But since then, I don't go that often. I would say it's probably, oh well, I mean, it probably at least 6 months since the last time I went, which is probably too long. I mean, if you're fairly active, um, and that's sort of the chiropractor that I go to. That's kind of his thing is that, if you're an active person, things are going to move around in your spine and your pelvis, and everything is going to get out of alignment. And most of the time, your body is going to be able to pull that back, but sometimes not. So um, it's more of like a tune up, sort of preventative maintenance for your body. Um, so I'm always amazed at how much better I feel um, coming out of that. Even I don't know why I should be, because it happens the same every time. But there you go. Our capacity to forget things is huge. It seems. So yes, I hope you had a pleasant week. Um, it has gotten extremely hot, has it not? Like amazingly hot, like breathtakingly hot. Um, we don't have central air because we have radiators. So there are air conditioners in strategic parts of the house, but you have to go through, different spaces to get there. So the hallways and the landings, stair landings, and things are so hot. Oh my lord! Hi, Deb. Thank you. Just amazing. So you open the door and you're just like melting. Um, so yes, stay inside if you can, if or somewhere where it's air conditioned. Um, this is rough. I know my husband was being so hilarious yesterday because I told him I was super bored because I hadn't been teaching class. I hadn't really been doing anything. There wasn't a lot of stuff. Well, I mean, there's all this stuff to do in the house, but I didn't feel like it. So my outdoor projects were on hold, and he said, "Oh, well, maybe we'll just go to the mall and walk around." Haha. I don't know. Maybe the mall is open now, but he was just being smart. But I think about that because I know when it was super hot and my kids were getting antsy or whatever, I would take them to the mall and walk around and walk around and walk around. So I don't know. I hope the mall is open because I'm not sure what people are doing with antsy kids at this point. Um, but hopefully something. Um, there's something available. And this too will pass. I was just thinking, it is the end of July. It's certainly an appropriate time to be hot, but that August is right around the corner, like right around the corner. And August always feels to me like, I mean, it is pretty much the end of the summer, but once we hit August, I'm like, oh, well, it's going to be cold in a couple of weeks. It never is, but I always feel like it will be. So we're closing in on the end of the summer already. It feels like it just kind of got going, but here we are. Um, so I also wanted to let you know that I've been doing some study and stuff over this week, and I'm going to be taking a class starting uh, Wednesday. So it's unfortunately it's like a live Zoom class, and it's from a teacher in India. So the only time I can do it is at 9:30 in the morning. So we're gonna cancel class on Wednesdays just for 5 weeks, and then we'll be back on Wednesdays. But I'll keep reminding you as we go along what day that will be. But it's going to start this week, the 22nd. So fun stuff. That's, I mean, to me, one of the only upsides of all this is um, how much people have gotten on the bandwagon with technology, and all different places. I mean, I see it in the yoga world, and of course other teaching forms, and in the workplace. My husband tells me at his work they're doing things that, you know, 6 months ago, no, everyone said, no, we can never do this online. No one will ever do it. People won't want to do it. It'll be too hard. It'll be no. It's they're all doing it, and everybody's, content to do it. So um, things really can change quickly if they need to, which is not a bad thing to know. I think sometimes we forget that. Um, so things can change for the bad quickly, but also they can improve quickly if we just put some effort behind it. So good to know. All right. Um, so let's just get started with some asana and breathing to start. So let's just sit and breathe. Shoulders relaxed. Think about that long line going up the spine. So shoulders are right over the hips. Breathing in through the nose, back out through the nose. Breathing down into the center of the body. You should be feeling kind of that abdominal area moving a little with the breath. And if you don't, see if you can relax a little more. So this is the kind of deep breath that encourages you to really fill the lungs. Maybe work on some even breathing. Breath to a count of 4, and then back out. You might go longer than that. Maybe you have larger capacity for breathing, or maybe you just count quicker. I don't know, but you don't. The idea is not to strain, not to feel like trying so hard to take all that breath in and then so hard. to push it back out. You should find a place where it feels natural, but deep, right? So a natural sort of breath, not where you're really forcing yourself to take way more breath than you might need, but definitely allowing the body to expand, lungs to expand. And the idea is the more we do this, the more we allow the body to relax, the deeper the breath will naturally get. We don't really have to force it. It will just happen, right? We will give um, the internal space for the lungs to expand. A lot of times we don't do that, right? We hold the body very stiff, and the lungs really can't expand as much as they would like to when we have that internal stiffness. So we want to feel relaxed, feel some space, some expanse in the body, in the chest area, the back, the sides. Like everything else that we do in yoga, it doesn't happen immediately, right? We can start working on that, but it'll take some time to really get the fullness, right? Just as we take some time to get what they call the full extension of a pose, right? When you have everything in the right place. The breath is the same way. We may not get a full expansion of the lungs right away, but we just keep working at it. And the more we do it, the more our body finds its way and sort of moves into the space where you want it to. The lungs then do their part. Um, so the lungs they want to expand just as much as you give them space. That's an automatic thing. That's an automatic response. And, we want to just give that room, let the lungs do their thing. Take a couple of more breaths here. And then we're going to get started with asana. So, sitting up tall, shoulders back. Then we bring the chin down toward the chest. Let the head hang down. Keep breathing. Then lift. Keep lifting the chin. Head drops back. Head to center. Take a breath. Lower the head over to the right. Back to center. Take a breath. And then moving to the left. And back to center. Lean forward here. Move around. One way and then the other. Back up to your seat. Arms wide. Deep breath in. Exhale. Hands together. Inhale wide. Then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. We'll gaze up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. Lower down. Inhale, lift. And lower. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. And lower. Let's lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind you. Take a moment to sit up, take a deep breath. Exhale, we're twisting to the left. Coming back to center, switch. Breath in and twist. Back to center. Tabletop. Sitting back on the heels. Child's pose. Come on back up. Let's take a few sets of cat-cow. So on the inhale, lowering the belly, lift the head. Exhale, reversing. Press down with the palms, lift the spine. Just moving as you breathe. Inhales and exhales. And sitting back, child's pose again. So the same breath that we are doing at the beginning of class, we want to kind of keep that up throughout the practice. Again, a natural level of breath, not forcing, but keeping it as deep as we can. And you may have to remind yourself, right? You may find yourself breathing quickly or holding your breath or in some other way not really staying with that rhythm of movement and breath. So I keep reminding you, right? I will keep reminding you. So when you notice it, just jump right back on it, right? And it becomes part of the practice. When you first begin, it's very hard to remember. You're just struggling with the poses when you start, right? But then as you go along, it just becomes kind of second nature. You may be doing it without even noticing it. One back up. Tabletop to downward dog. Hold here and breathe. And then stepping the feet up to the hands. We're here in a fold. Breathe, relax. Rising slowly. Standing tall. Breath in and breath out. You turn the fan on. Too hot in here. Inhale, we're lifting, arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, right foot steps back. Set the knee down, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale, move forward to high plank. And then lower down. Inhale, we're lifting up head and chest. Lower. Inhale, lift. Lower. And once more. Lifting head and chest. And lower. Moving back up. Tabletop to downward dog. One more breath here. Then we're going to step the right foot up. Drop the left knee. Arms overhead. Hands back down to the mat. Step the back foot up and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Arms overhead. Back to mountain. Take a breath. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. On the exhale, left foot steps back. Drop your knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat, stepping back, downward dog. Inhale, move forward to high plank. Take a breath here. And then lower down. On an inhale, we're lifting up, head and chest. Then lower. Inhale, lifting up. Lower. Once more, lifting up. And lower. Moving back. Tabletop to downward dog. One more breath. And then we're stepping, left foot up. Drop the knee, arms overhead. Hands down to the mat. Back foot steps up. Fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Arms back to mountain. Take a breath. Let's step out. So I'm stepping to the right so I can face you here, but you may need to step a different way if you're trying to face the screen. Just wide-legged on the mat, facing the side, hands at the waist. Take a breath, relax the shoulders, and then we're just going to lean forward. Hearing everything click and pop. So you could stay here. You could bring the hands down. Your choice. Whatever feels good today. And then we're going to bring the right hand to center. You could be on the floor. You might be up on a block. You might be up here and just have hands at the waist for your twist. It's up to you. But we're going to lengthen here. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we are moving to the left. You could extend the arm if you want. Back to center, switch sides. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And then back to center. Let's bring hands to the waist again. Use that leg strength to lift you up. Take a breath. Hands up over your head if you feel lightheaded. And then we're going to turn to face the front. Right leg is out in front, left leg behind. Nice and wide so you feel Like you've got a nice solid base here. Hands behind, interlace the fingers. Draw back the shoulders. Deep breath. And then fold forward. Press down with the right foot, rising up. Back foot steps to the front, arms overhead. Back to mountain. Take a breath. And then we're going to step out again. So I'm facing the same way. You probably will be too. That's okay. Take a deep breath. We're going to, I guess, interlace the fingers behind for this one. Whatever you want, you can choose, but just something that's drawing the shoulders back. Deep breath. Fold forward. So if you have the hands behind, shoulders engaged, you could lift the arms. You could keep them back at the waist. It's entirely your choice. Breathe. You could do a little of both. And then if your hands are up, bring them back to the waist. We're rising up. Breath in, breath out. Step the feet in. Release the hands so you're about shoulder width, round about there. Feet might be pointing straight ahead. Feet might be pointing out to the side a little. Your choice. Setting up for yogi squat, malasana. Have your hands together. Take a deep breath. Bend the knees, lower down. Nice and upright with the body as much as possible. Wherever you are with this is good. Just holding and breathing. One more breath. And back up. Hands by your side. We're turning to face the front with the left foot out, right foot behind. Interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders back. Deep breath. Fold forward. Rising up, back foot steps to the front, arms overhead, back to mountain. Deep breath in and out. Let's do a little balance. Starting with tree, standing on the left foot. Right foot makes a kickstand on the side or coming up to the calf or somewhere above the knee. Your choice, nice and upright with the body, shoulders relaxed. Keep that balance to center. If you do feel steady enough, you might extend the arms. Okay, but that's kind of the last thing. After everything else feels solid. Steady gaze, eye level or higher. Keep the breath moving in the body. Not of things that we're trying to do at once, right? And then set the foot back down, and we're going to switch. So it is a lot of things that we're doing at once with balance, but we're doing most of them all the same with every balance. So we're standing on the right for this time, bringing in the left wherever we are. So we're always trying to start at center with that balance, right? Building it up from the bottom. Strengthen the leg, strengthen the body. And then set the foot down. Bicycle legs. Let's step out into a warrior three. So give yourself a little room in front. Hands together. Breath in. And then we're going to step out with the left. Shifting the weight onto the left side, we'll start lifting up the right leg. So as much as we lift, we're leaning forward. Okay. A little, or we may move more. See what works for you today. Do you want to kind of keep as much of a straight line as you can? And if you aren't going to lift that much today, don't worry about it, right? The main thing is to try to stay steady with the balance, not so much that you have a huge lift. It's that you're finding that steadiness wherever it is. And then set the foot back down. Same thing, but we're going to start with the other side. Take your breath, and then stepping out right, we're going to shift the weight into that right side and begin lifting. See where we are today. Hands could stay at center if it helps. You could bring airplane arms out, your choice. But just trying to stay balanced, stay focused. And breathe. If you fall out, then just come on back in, right? You don't have to stay in the one position the whole time. And then set the foot down. Bicycle the legs. So a lot of times, balance is very ego driven, right? We have an idea in our head of how it should be, and we get frustrated when we can't get there. So we need to consciously step out of that, avoid that. Just see what it is today. Don't assign it a value or a judgment. Just be wherever you are. And if you can do that in your balance, you should be able to do that throughout your whole practice. Right? So I think balance is frequently the one that we get really stuck on. So come on up, top of the mat. Let's lift the arms. Interlace the fingers. Flip the palms. Lean back a little. And then fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, stepping back to downward dog. Inhale, forward to high plank. And then lower, all the way down. Head turns right. Arms by your side. Relax and breathe. Head back to center. We're going to bring the hands by the side, setting up for Cobra. So we've got elbows closed, shoulders back. Pressing down with the tops of the feet. We're going to start lifting up, head and chest. Lift the hands. So we're just hovering here. And lower down. Head turns left, arms by your side. Bring your head back to center. And we're going to leave the arms by your side, but rest the palms on the floor. And we're going to start lifting up, head and chest, lift the legs, lift the arms. And lower down. Let's bring the hands out in front. One forearm on top of the other. Set the head down. And take a few breaths, feeling the sides and the back expand. And then we're going to start moving back. Tabletop to child's pose. and then tabletop to downward dog. Stepping the feet up to the hands, come down to a seat. Soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath in, fold forward. Come on back up, and we're gonna do cow face pose. So we're gonna have the left leg under to start. So we have the left knee pointing straight out, foot is back by your hip, right leg comes on top. Bring that knee over as much as you can. Got a hold of our feet, take a deep breath, fold forward. Back up and switch it around. So the right leg is under, left on top. Deep breath in, fold over. Back up, both legs straight out in front. Lift the arms, deep breath in, exhale, folding forward. Walk the hands back up, bend your knees, soles of the feet to the mat, and then lowering down or rocking back. Ending up comfortable on your mat here. Breathe. And then let's bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. You might stay here, or you could bring that left thigh in closer. Breathe. And then set the foot down. We're going to leave that right ankle on top of the left knee. Start lowering the knee out to the side. So that right foot is going along for the ride. Trying to keep the upper body relatively flat on the mat here for a twist. Moving back up. Let's switch. So now we've got the left ankle on the right knee staying here or drawing that right leg in closer to the body. And then set your foot down. Take a breath and then lowering over to the right. Back to center. And set both feet down. And then let's bring the knees in. Rock a little side to side. Maybe draw some circles with the knees. Going one way and then the other. Extend the legs straight up. The soles of the feet pressed to the sky, hands by your side. And then lowering. However you want to get there. We're just finding a comfortable place to rest on your mat. For Shavasana. So get comfortable here. Allow the body to rest and relax. Feeling supported by the mat. Let the thoughts drift away. Finding a focus, something positive, or maybe that mantra that you hold. And if you don't have a focus, if you don't really have a mantra or something that kind of uh, resonates with you, look within, see what comes up. It doesn't have to be anything grand or earth shaking. It can be something very simple. But rather than putting something in there, look to see what's there already. A lot of times we can get some clues about what we should be focusing on, what we might need to work on by paying attention to what's going on inside. listen, right? If you don't have a focus right now or a mantra, make that your focus, listening, hearing, trying to just be open to what may come to you. That's part of being, um, we talk about sort of turning things over to God or to the universe, right? Um, being an instrument where we aren't really working for our own selfish interests, we're working for the good of everyone. So there are, there are downsides to that, right? So it can be frustrating if you aren't always getting what you want, right? But you're doing what you know should be done. That can be frustrating. But the other thing is sometimes you don't know what you should be doing. Sometimes you have to wait and listen and really look within to get that information, to know what the next step is meant to be. Sometimes the next step is to wait, right? And that can be the hardest thing of all. If you are somebody who's very um, self actuated, right? If you're very used to kind of just doing things and getting them done, um, there's not always a time for that. Sometimes that's exactly the wrong thing to do. So, um, learning to wait, that's that's a hard lesson for me, right? And it may be for you as well. Um, for some people, the action is the hard thing, right? They have trouble taking action, right? Waiting is okay, but it's the taking action. So, um, whatever your challenges are, you're going to face them. You're going to be asked to confront them. Um, and you'll get numerous opportunities to do so. So, don't feel like if you make the wrong choice or you kind of bungle it, that you won't get more opportunities. You'll get lots of opportunities, and you'll get better at it as you go along. So be at peace with where you are. Um, I notice for myself when I'm starting to feel anxious or impatient, um, it's just because I'm not paying attention, right? Um, I've already gotten into my own head and my own time frame, right? I'm not paying attention to what is going on. Um, so if you start feeling like that, just just roll it back. Um, there's no set time for all these things. We're working each of us in our own time. When you're ready, you can begin sort of moving around a little. And when you're ready, then making your way up to a seat on the mat. We'll bring hands together. Deep breath in and out. Thank you for taking time this morning for yoga, for joining me here and having class today. And I'm very grateful to be back and feeling good. And I hope you all are as well. Have a great day. Namaste. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your day. Stay cool. Don't do too much. We've been taking the dog for a walk later and later, but I mean, we took the dog for a walk like at 7, and it was like 90 degrees yesterday. So I'm not sure how late it has to be before it's nice to walk a dog, but maybe midnight. I don't know, but I took the dog out last night really late. It was still really, really hot, so I don't know. It's hopeless, maybe. Thank you, Deb. All right, I will be back tomorrow. Enjoy your day, and I will see you then.